Good evening, my Eritrean brothers and sisters. It's been a while since I haven't posted a clip. Today I'm gonna talk. I don't know what title I'm gonna give it. Shall we call it like the strategy of Yaklani or Tamaskan being content? So I'm not talking about theocracy kind of economic political management, but it does help a lot, my friend. Okay, we as Eritreans, as Habesha people, we Eritreans, Ethiopians, the fact that we had such a stable society is because this year Akhlani ethical, theological phase has kept us going, functioning all our society communities for 5,000 years, between 4 and 5,000 years, right? Going so smoothly, my friend. Well, the whole world was shaking through a lot of upheavals, like all these Black Death, political problems. We were always stable. There was some kind of like skirmishes, like local competitions among these regions and kings and emperors. But overall, we always kept our independence because of this Yahlani, my friend. Okay, all this fascism. The problem is when it comes all this greed, all this capitalist greed, it destroys the soul fabric of the whole nation. Look at in America, my friend. They don't have a life, my friend. Greed, greed. They eat too much burger, too much McDonald's, too much car, Chevrolet, and everything. Nothing satisfies them, my friend. Monster eating the whole world, whether you call it environmental, militaristic armaments, pollution, educational, everything, my friend. They mess it the whole world. Are they a 300 million population? They are corrupting the whole earth, my friend. Why? Because greed, my friend. They produce too much more than they can eat and consume. They throw everything. Okay? That's greed, my friend. The whole of their soul has been eaten by greed. Hold that. It's American. That's me. That's mine. Whereas we Eritreans, Ethiopians, we're very stable people, my friend. Like, not very greedy. I'm not saying we shouldn't aspire to be. It doesn't mean that we don't have to be ambitious, but I'm not saying we just have to always live in this basic needs kind of poverty. But it doesn't have to change the whole overall foundation of our society, So this is going to take me about all these financial institutions, in the Middle East of the CEO, all this billion, these gold reserves, all this banking system. That's a bartering kind of thing. What's money? What's the idea of money? I mean, I wrote about this for so many years in my Facebook, long time ago. Money is a virtual security feeling that you have. Hey, all my bank, the money is stored somewhere in Germany, reserved in the UK, maybe somewhere in London. I have 10 kilo of gold reserved. Okay, so give me this paper note from Bank of England to say I got some money reserved in the bank. Okay, so it gives you that security. Whereas we Eritreans, my friend, if you are in London, if you don't have the money, you are frozen into a stone with 1 hour. Because it's a freezing nation, okay? Take it back to Eritrea. We got free land, my friend. Sea. You just go to the mountains, everywhere in the fields, my friend. You sleep even without your duvet, without your blanket. You just take every leaves, like all these cactus, pears, and all these seeds and vegetables, everything, my friend, for free. Okay? You sleep there eating only the leaves, my friend. Natural. That's wealth, okay? So we just barter things, like if you go goat and sheep and everything, my friend, you take that goat or maybe sheep or lamb to your neighbor, someone, and they give you some milk, maybe a horse or maybe some cereals, some barter system, Mr. Donald Trump, all these European policy makers about economy, they don't have to know that, my friend. They tell you, hey, you shouldn't do that, my friend. That's old-fashioned. Excuse me. That's an African system way of barter system. It kept us going for 5,000 years. Who the hell are you? So this money is about security, my friend. We are secure people, my friend. We got massive love for our population size. Very rich people, my friend. You don't see us carrying all this paper notes, European euro or dollar or UK pound. The Europeans, they become secure and they have that kind of like an idea of safety insurance because they believe there is 10 kilo of gold reserve somewhere, so they just call, hey, I want money to go to Africa or maybe to other European countries. They gave them, okay? If they don't have it, they force them, my friend. Suppose that every other nation, they say, no, we're not going to take paper. They die. But we in Eritrea, in Africa, my friend, Ethiopia and everything, you take all the gold and you sort like a bartering system, like bird, okay? That's free, my friend. We are secure people, my friend. We are so much stable. So this idea about all this currency exchange, now we got all this cryptocurrency, all that kind of stuff, there is the system where the whole global institutions, banking system, all this jewelry, all this assuring, interest rates. That is the whole thing running the whole world, my friend. They just making us go mad, my friend. Okay. The reason why Europeans became secure is because we, the Eritreans, Ethiopians, in 300 AC after Christ, we had a partnership with these Byzantines, okay? So they had a stable government, my friend, all these Europeans, because they didn't have any colonization of wars from the Persians, my friend. My friend, don't forget all these Persians. They got really ancient civilization, from all this. What's the first people who created this law? Hubar, is it? Hudrabi, or I don't know. So they had a lot of wars with all these Byzantines, all this Greek, everything like that. My friend, they did a magic thing because they had collaboration, partnership with us. They become secure and we were very secure. But that's shaking now, my friend. The whole thing is shifting towards the east, China and India and everything. And the Europeans and the Americans, they're losing it because number one, they're becoming extremely very greedy, very selfish. They don't want to have no kids, my friend. The Arabs, the Islam, my friend, one person can have 100 kids, my friend. Okay? So you go to Europe, my friend, they take all the life and the power of all these males, Eritreans, Ethiopians, all Africans, my friend. They take all the power of the men. So these men, they're not going to produce kids, my friend. They take all religious faith that we've been priding so much for so many centuries, 2,000 years. They destroy that. So when you go to Europe, my friend, they got all this aging population. They become extremely very selfish, very greedy. They don't want to have no kids, my friend. They don't want to sleep with a woman. The woman doesn't sleep with a man. Very selfish. They don't want to have kids. So they go, old generation, my friend, dying out. Okay? Decay. Rotten society. So they're dwindling. Their population is dwindling. Whereas you go to the east, my friend, Pakistan, India, Persia, Arabs, one person, if he's got the means, he can have 1,000 kids. The Sharia and everything, their laws is supposed to. When you go to Europe, my friend, they tell you, no, we hate these refugees from Africa, Eritrea, Ethiopia, my friend. Eh? Then you lose, my friend. Okay? No, you're not going to come and cry for us. Terrorism, all this Islam, my friend. That's your all making, my friend. Okay? Islam is propagating because of the failure of the Europeans, my friend. Okay? They are controlling the whole European nations. America, without firing a single bullet. Okay? You don't have all these jihad wars, all this caliphate, my friend. All these refugees, my friend, they are multiplying kids after kids, my friend, because these people are very fertile, my friend, okay? So, I think sometimes, the way Mr. Donald Trump, all his policies, my friend, I think he's losing it. The whole European society, they're losing it. Because the whole society is decaying, my friend. All these Christianity values that we shared from the 3rd century, the whole globe, my friend, is being wiped out because of them. They don't uphold it. They don't respect it. They just tell you, Christianity, democracy, everything. They don't practice, they don't do it. So they just give you all the service and they dump it to other people. They don't do it. They tell you like, yeah, you refugees, we don't need you. Good. Don't come to us too. So we can live peacefully in our countries. Like, you know. So this is about this strategy of Yakhlani. Like, you know, how if you go into my village, my friend, to all small towns in Eritrea, Ethiopia, my friend. If you are an European or maybe an Eritrean Ethiopian living in the Europe, you go there with dollar and pounds and euro, my friend. You tell them to little village person, hey, I'm gonna give you this $10 or to a euro or to maybe 10 pounds. You wouldn't tell him, my friend. You wouldn't take it. I tell you, no, excuse me, I have it enough. Thank you. That's called dignity, my friend. Dignity, self-respect. It's called Yakhlani strategy. Okay, these are people, and that value has been going for 4,000 years. Okay, so you don't become dependent on somebody else's arms for free gifts. You work for his. Even those people are hungry, my friend. Even they might be hungry, but they wouldn't dare to take your money or your food, my friend. That's self-respect, my friend. But in this country, if you are having some chicken, my friend, somebody's gonna grab and run away with your chicken. Maybe some any food. Greed. Everything you have something, maybe business. They take over and they take it. Greed. Okay? You got some job. Somebody else take it for you, from you. Greed. Everything is greed. No value system. There is no strategy for it. There is no Yakhlani strategy. Okay? Greed. Okay? So this has kept us going for 4,000, 5,000 years, my friend, as a society, extremely civilized nation, okay? So that's our money, my friend. That's our currency. That's our value. Okay? That's our respect and dignity, noble people, okay? So if you see some people going in the villages barefooted, don't you ever think these are people uncivilized people. They love it, my friend. Number one, there is no need for them to buy a Chevrolet or BMW or Mercedes because they work, my friend. They work. They look down on their such kind of thing, which makes them lazy and corrupt and become fat belly like all these Americans and like, you know, what's the term the Africans use? Like septic tank, rubbish, junk kind of thing. They don't like it, man. You give them big food, my friend, they tell you, Yakhlani. Means like, oh no, thank you, my friend. I had enough. I got my own. I'm gonna do it from the village. They do it themselves. Okay? If you give them big cars, all that fancy, all that kind of like shiny things, they don't like it, man. They look down on you. Even sometimes to the point, even if they are hungry or maybe thirsty, you tell them I wanna give you this here because I'm American. You look hard, you walking barefoot, my friend. You need shoes, you need some kind of money. For me, from America, from New York. Wall Street. Excuse me, what do you say? No, man. Yakhlani. I do have my own. I can walk, man. You tell them you want to give them a lift. No, excuse me, man. I'm going to walk. I'm going to run. Okay. So this is a value system that we have been practicing for 4,000 years. All these years, my friend. Extremely very proud people, okay? Now they created all that called hologram, television, my friend. Internet. They corrupting the whole of our values. All these young kids, they want to come to Hollywood, my friend, to New York, okay? LA, Washington, so that they can enjoy all that kind of stuff that really fake, superficial things. They stay in America for 10, 20 years, they fed up and they're, my goodness, why did I come to that country, man? Why did they treat me, my friend? These are called artists, my friend. Why in the first case, our government allowed all this Western TV in our country? So that they tricked me, my friend. These are called artists. That's why I came to your country and they tell you like, hey, we don't need refugees, like, you know. So because they tricked you using their TVs or their TV channels, like CNN, Al Jazeera and everything, like, you know. You saw it was really nice things, man. You're gonna be super rich. American dream come to America, my friend. As a matter of fact, you're going to be working 16 hours a day. You don't have no health insurance whatsoever. If you're sick, my friend, you die. Nobody's going to look after you because all these doctors, it costs them a lot of money. Then you regret it, my friend. My goodness, why I didn't see Ahlan? Why did I come to this country, my friend? And Donald Trump tells you, hey, we don't like refugees. They should go back to their country. And then they say all their armaments, my friends, with your neighbors, so that there's always this psychological war fighting. Excuse me, Mr. Donald Trump, why are you sending all the war armaments into our place if you don't like us? That's how it is, man. We are corner artists, like. So this, yeah, that's very important, my friend. Like, you got all these Western nation citizens, like, nothing satisfies them. Nothing satisfies them, my friend. They got the biggest houses, the biggest mansions, my friend, the biggest business, the biggest money. They still not happy, my friend. Drug after drug. I want to have that. Control. Nothing satisfies them, my friend, because they got that whole impotence in the whole of their system, value system, my friend. Now you want to compare with us, my friend. You are multi-billionaire, but you cannot compare with that simple village man in our country, my friend. Okay, we came only to the West, to America, only to study, to know the language of the devil, of the Satan. In my area, all this Western education, our people used to call it Moro Shaitan, means education of the Satan. They are true, my friend. It's true, my friend. We only study the language so that we can understand how Satan is thinking, my friend. But we got our own education system. Education systems, like, Moro Shaitan, if you go to our elders from our villages, you tell them, I want to have, excuse me, my son, that's Moro Shaitan. They're going to teach you bad things. That's what they're telling you. They're going to teach you only bad things. You will screw your mind. These are corner artists, my friend. So this value system, my friend, like, all these Americans, all these Europeans touting too much about themselves, branding and, all their labor about themselves. Why destroy the whole fabric of our values, our dignity, our self-respect, all the pride that we have in about ourselves, my friend, about our looks, about geography, about our sea, about our village, everything about our environment, heaven, paradise, weather. They wouldn't tell you got value. They tell you Europe is the best, my friend. The French continent is the best. Africa is rubbish. Eritrea is rubbish. Ethiopia is rubbish. They wouldn't tell you your value, my friend. So it's time we recalibrate, okay? Respect our values, our dignity, our faith, okay? Of our being content. It doesn't mean that we don't want to be rich, but not at the cost of our health, our psychological health, mental health, physical health, okay? Stability, everything. Security, okay? That's where the security of money comes, my friend. If you are psychologically secure with yourself, if you are physically secure, health, it means $1 billion, $100 billion, my friend. If you are sick, all this 100 billion amount of money, billion or gold you got in the bank reserve is not going to save you, my friend. It's not going to fix you. Okay? So this is called Ahlani business. The other one is like, they talk too much about Palestine and Israel, my friend. It's got nothing to do with us, my friend, okay? Israel and Palestine issue is about brand still, my friend. These people, they live by selling all this their ideology and everything, so that the whole world become fixated to go and visit their, all this Al-Aqsa, Cairo, Mecca, Medina, and Saudi Arabia. Like, they've been tricking us all these 2,000 years, my friend. They use it as an economy, my friend. They talk too much day in, day out about Palestine and Israeli issue, my friend, okay? As a matter of fact, these are people, they try to hack us always so that we talk about their agendas day in, day out. They always market their ideas. Oh, Palestine, this. They can fix it with 1 hour if they want to. But because they want us to forget about our life in our villages, towns, cities, about our kids, about life, they want us only to talk about their agendas so that we forget about our life. It's called hacking, my friends. It's an intellectual hacking. Okay, thank you guys. You have a lovely day. You have a lovely evening.